Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about strings. Here I have three different strings defined. For the variable name, I've given my name. For age, I've given it an age. And for address, I've assigned a street name. Now you can notice that the string contains letters and numbers. You can see that Zach is just characters, or just letters, and 26 is just numbers. If I want to print out one of these, I just say print, and then I give it the variable name. If we view that in the browser, we'll see the value come out. A string is literally just a string of characters strung together. So here I have 4 individual characters that are strung together and treated as if they are one. A string is always inside of either double or single quotes if you're defining it yourself. Now you will work with functions that return a string and you're not going to necessarily see quotes or anything like that. But a string is always inside of quotes when you define it yourself. And to show you the difference between a string with numbers like this and the actual integer value of a string, is I'll do this. If we say 5 plus 5, view it in the browser, just like in the last video we see 10 appear. It actually performs some kind of operation on these. If I put these inside of a string, either double or single quotes, and we view that in the browser, we actually see 5 plus 5 printed out. It doesn't actually perform the operation on them. It doesn't actually add them together. So you notice that it's not processing those, because it sees the 5, the plus symbol, and the other 5 simply as characters. As far as PHP is concerned, the 5 and the plus symbol are just other characters, and they're no different from a letter. However, as I've talked about in the last video, just mentioned briefly, is that PHP is very good about converting things. And so if you take the plus symbol out of it and you try to just add 2 strings together, 5 and 5 as strings, PHP recognizes that you can't add strings together. It doesn't work, so it tries to convert them to integers. So, if we view this in the browser now, we should actually see 10. And we do, because it converts those 5s that are strings to integers, and then performs the operation. Now, again, you can tell it's converting those. If I try to add A and B together, we should see 0, because it doesn't actually add strings together. It just adds strings that it can convert to an integer, and the letters don't really convert to integers. Only an existing number can be converted to an integer. So, just a little bit of information there. Now the difference between double and single quotes. Here I can say my name is, now you'll notice that I'm including this variable that has my name in it inside of the string. There's an exception to when it processes information inside of a string. If it's a variable, it will process it if it's inside of double quotes. Not single quotes, but double quotes. So when I tried the 5 plus 5, it ignored it. It treated them as characters. But when you include a variable, it doesn't treat them as characters. It treats it as a standard variable. So we should see my name is, and then it'll see this variable and replace it with my name. So we see my name is Zach. Using single quotes simply says, don't do anything special. Simply output the string as is, including variable names, anything like that. So we see my name is, and we see actually the variable name being printed out as is without being processed. Now we can do something like this. We can say my name is name, my age is age. Now if I save this and we view it in the browser, we're going to see my name is Zach and my age is 26. So it's printing them out all in one line, and it looks that way in the browser also. It's just text all on one line. Now there are escaped characters. We do that with a a backslash, and then the letter N. And there's a bunch of different escaped characters. So there's N, there's T for a tab, and so on. So this will add a new line. It basically says go to the next line, same as if I hit the enter key and move it down. So if we view this in the browser now, we won't see any difference here, but if we view the source, we see that they are printed on their own line, because it is causing it at this point to drop down to the next line. Also, if you wanted to include HTML in there, we just do BR, say going down to the next line. And so now the browser recognizes this, the text editor doesn't. So now it's back on one line. So you can combine those. You can say, okay, let's do a /n here. So I'm telling the HTML to go to the new line, and I'm telling the text to go to a new line after that BR. So now watch what happens. It still looks the same here, but when we go to the view source, we see the new line after that BR tag. So we can also format our HTML nicely in the back end inside of our PHP code by doing something like this, BR/N together. So that's it. The next 3 videos I'll be talking about Boolean values and arrays. So check those out.